We have another case of outright secrecy and shadiness from Hillary Clinton and her allies. The International Business Times reports here, trade is a hot issue in the 2016 U.S. presidential campaign, but correspondence from Hillary Clinton and her top State Department aides about the TPP will not be available for public review, at least not until after the election. The Obama administration abruptly blocked the release of Clinton's State Department correspondence about the so-called Trans-Pacific Partnership after first saying it expected to produce the emails this spring. The delay was issued in the same week the Obama administration filed a court motion to try and kill a lawsuit aimed at forcing the federal government to more quickly comply with open records requests for Clinton-era State Department documents. If International Business Times open records request is fulfilled on the last day of November, as the State Department now estimates, it will have taken 489 days for the request to be fulfilled. According to Justice Department statistics, the average wait time for a State Department request is 111 days on a simple request. So, to sum this up, the Obama administration is withholding the release of Clinton emails about the TPP because those emails would be really, really damaging. So for those of you who don't know, which is probably only a small percentage of you at this point, the TPP is the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It's another so-called free trade deal with 12 nations, and in reality, it's just a giant outsourcing deal. Part of that deal is Malaysia and Brunei. Malaysia is a place that, quote, tolerates slavery, tolerates forced labor, and we want to get into an agreement with them here so that we can get some of that cheap labor. And Brunei is a place that in 2014, so very recently, decided, hey, we're going to implement Sharia law. And we gave them a pat on the back and said, awesome, you want to get in our trade deal? Because, you know, human rights, liberal values, we care about spreading democracy and freedom around the world, except when we prop up Sharia regimes and give them a pat on the back by bringing them into trade deals. So Hillary Clinton was for the TPP. She lobbied for it 45 times before she flipped her position and in the debates with Bernie Sanders said, I'm against it. I'm against it. Bernie was like, well, that's interesting. You seem to lobby for it 45 times. What happened here? She's like, well, you know what, Bernie, I actually waited to read it before I came out against it, unlike you. Well, that's weird. So that means you're admitting that when you pushed for it, you hadn't read it. So before you read it, totally for it. Then after you read it, oh, I'm against it. No, see, what's happening is you're a liar. That's what it is. You're a fucking liar. And now the Obama administration, well, they took a look. Okay, let's see your State Department emails on the TPP. Yeah, that's pretty damning. We're not going to release this till after the election. Again, you guys want to know why it is? Because there's no doubt about it that she goes back and forth with her aides, and she talks about how great it is, and, you know, how we have to get it through, and I hear me now, quote me later, it's a virtual guarantee that there are lines in there begrudging actual progressive Democrats in the Progressive Caucus, and saying something along the lines of, you know, these guys are going to get in the way, and they actually are in agreement with the Tea Party on this, and it's the establishment Republicans and Democrats. She wouldn't frame it like this, but the establishment Republicans and Democrats are for the TPP. It's the Tea Party and the Progressive Caucus who are against the TPP, and she's going to express frustration over that. So, guys, I mean, this is such an obvious example of your candidate is unpopular, she's a liar, she flip-flops, she doesn't agree with even what she says she does now. She certainly doesn't agree with her constituents. So withhold it, because if we release it, it'll be super damaging. Perhaps that's not the best candidate. And perhaps this isn't somebody who would make sense to run in a general election either.